Hello friends. Welcome to the Factory of Wisdom. Enjoy watching. Everybody's private motto: it's better to be popular than right. Learning softeneth the heart and breedeth gentleness and charity. I like a good story well told. That is the reason I am sometimes forced to tell them myself. Cherimoya, the most delicious fruit known to men. In the real world, nothing happens at the right place at the right time. It is the job of journalists and historians to correct that. Life does not consist mainly, or even largely, of facts and happenings. It consists mainly of the storm of thought that is forever flowing through one's head. Substitute damn every time you're inclined to write very. Your editor will delete it and the writing will be just as it should be. What do we call love, hate, charity, revenge, humanity, forgiveness? Different results of the master impulse, the necessity of securing one's self-approval. Now and then we had a hope that if we lived and were good, God would permit us to be pirates. The citizen who sees his society's democratic clothes being worn out and does not cry it out is not a patriot, but a traitor. Cold. If the thermometer had been an inch longer, we'd all have frozen to death. I'm pushing 60 years of age, and that's enough exercise for me. Life ain't about how fast you run or how high you climb, it's all about how good you bounce. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. Use the right word, not its second cousin. The only difference between reality and fiction is that fiction needs to be credible. Familiarity breeds contempt in children. A powerful agent is the right word. Whenever we come upon one of those intensely right words in a book or newspaper, the resulting effect is physical as well as spiritual, and electrically prompt. A public library is the most enduring of memorials, the trustiest monument for the preservation of an event or a name or an affection for it, and it only is respected by wars and revolutions, and survives them. Do something every day that you don't want to do. One gains at least 2 to 3 times more experience grabbing the tiger by the tail than reading about it in a book. You are about as happy as you make up your mind to be. I like the truth sometimes, but I don't care enough for it to hanker after it. Always tell the truth, then you don't have to remember anything. While the rest of the species is descended from apes, redheads are descended from cats. Monarchies, aristocracies, and religions, there was never a country where the majority of the people were in their secret hearts loyal to any of these institutions. I would rather have my ignorance than another man's knowledge, because I have so much of it. If work were so pleasant, the rich would keep it for themselves. God cures and the doctor sends the bill. To succeed in life, you need 2 things, ignorance and confidence. No sinner is ever saved after the first 20 minutes of a sermon. I was dead for millions of years before I was born, and it never inconvenienced me a bit. Humor is mankind's greatest blessing. The first time a student realizes that a little learning is a dangerous thing is when he brings home a poor report card. I would like to live in Manchester, England. The transition between Manchester and death would be unnoticeable. No God and no religion can survive ridicule. No political church, no nobility, no royalty or other fraud can face ridicule in a fair field and live. Humor is the good-natured side of a truth. It is best to read the weather forecast before praying for rain. Give an Irishman lager for a month and he's a dead man. An Irishman's stomach is lined with copper, and the beer corrodes it. But whiskey polishes the copper and is the saving of him. Truth is the most valuable thing we have. Let us economize it. I always take Scotch whiskey at night as a preventive of toothache. I have never had the toothache, and what is more, I never intend to have it. The church is always trying to get other people to reform. It might not be a bad idea to reform itself a little, by way of example. There are 869 different forms of lying, but only one of them has been squarely forbidden. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Names are not always what they seem. Never do wrong when people are looking. Many people have the reasoning facility, but no one uses it in religious matters. The vast majority of the race, whether savage or civilized, are secretly kind at heart and shrink from inflicting pain, but in the presence of the aggressive and pitiless minority they don't dare to assert themselves. Children are natural mimics who act like their parents despite every effort to teach them good manners. Be respectful to your superiors, if you have any. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. This is the ideal life. What is human life? The first third a good time, the rest remembering about it. When all is said and done, the one sole condition that makes spiritual happiness and preserves it is the absence of doubt. I have spent most of my life worrying about things that have never happened. Let us swear while we may, for in heaven it will not be allowed. Our best-built certainties are but sandhouses and subject to damage from any wind of doubt that blows. Good judgment comes from experience. And where does experience come from? Experience comes from bad judgment. If all the fools in this world should die, Lordly God, how lonely I should be. Eating and sleeping are the only activities that should be allowed to interrupt a man's enjoyment of his cigar. Love is not a product of reasonings and statistics. It just comes none knows whence and cannot explain itself. All religions issue Bibles against Satan, and say the most injurious things against him, but we never hear his side. There are no grades of vanity, there are only grades of ability in concealing it. No church property is taxed, and so the infidel and the atheist and the man without religion are taxed to make up the deficit. To be, or not to be, That is the bare bodkin that makes calamity of so long life. My mother had a great deal of trouble with me, but I think she enjoyed it. Principles aren't of much account anyway, except at election time. After that you hang them up to let them season. The modern patriotism, the true patriotism, the only rational patriotism is loyalty to the nation all the time, loyalty to the government when it deserves it. Thank you for watching. I will be glad to see you again.